Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TowerDiveTV weekly number 41, the 41st TowerDive weekly tournament here. I'm Gilfrost, and this is Achilleos, and we're coming in to this game, I believe, that this is a part of the quarterfinals. This is a quarterfinal match, and we're going to be seeing the picks and bans here from both blue and purple team. Welcome. What do you think so far, Achilleos?
So far, it looks like we got coming out of the ban list right now. We have Elise Twisted Fates, so some pretty standards. TF, just one of the more powerful mid laners, not really able to be hard countered. He can abuse his range. He's got a really great kit with his mana sustain. He's got his slow, and he's also got his stun card. And then, not to mention that global ultimate. So not very surprising to see that come out, and also the Elise ban. Very, very standard these days, despite the fact that she got a very slight nerf, but she's still very, very powerful in, both the jungle and the top lane. And now also looks like we have Thresh Master Yi coming out. Master Yi, not surprising me whatsoever. His pick rate went through the roof after that rework right there, so it doesn't surprise me at all that we're seeing a ban from him.
No, very, very true. And yeah, as far as the Elise nerf as well, they did, she's not quite as powerful, but really her kit is just, it's very versatile. And so still seeing a lot of play as Vayne once again picked up. This has been, I've been getting a lot, very, very used to seeing Vayne getting played or banned in some games even. But there's that pickup as Blitzcrank has actually left open there. Almost a tempting choice here for Team Red.
Yeah, if he's open, take him. You might as well. I mean, the blue team banned out that Thresh. So they eliminated the possibility of another hook. So we'll just have to see if, blue team knows how to counter a Blitzcrank. That looks like that's going to have to be what they're going to do. So whether they come out with an Alistar, I think would be a very, very interesting pick. We don't see him terribly often too much these days anymore. He used to be one of the most banned champions, and now we hardly ever even see him, which is a shame because he's such a great, such a great support.
Yeah, no, he's a lot of fun to watch as well. Yeah, he has a great toolkit. And, Leona would be another possibility, or, obviously Thresh is banned out currently, but those are the three that I would choose normally as Awkward Death hovering over Lulu right now. We also have Diana now being hovered over possibly here.
We'll have to see what they decide to lock in right now. Lulu Vayne, I would be surprised if that Lulu does not lock. Lulu Vayne, very, very standard and also very powerful lane in the bot lane. I mean, she's got, that Lulu, she's got enough harass as well as a shield. Her ultimate, very, very powerful, especially on somebody like Vayne. It looks like we might be having some switching around here.
Yeah, it looks like Nunu actually locked in. So that is a fairly versatile pick. I mean, it could be a jungle Nunu. It's a possibility it could be that support Nunu supporting Vayne in the bot lane. But either way, we will see as Zach and Shen being hovered over here for Team Purple, and Shen actually being locked in there.
Okay, so actually, Purple team managing to pick up some, very standardly banned champions. They have the Shen, now they have the Blitzcrank. So this is a solo queuer's worst nightmare right now. If they were sitting on the blue team, like that is a very rough team to go against if they know it in the right hands. But blue looks like they're just, they didn't ban them out, so it looks like they're just not that scared of either of those champions. So we'll see what blue has in store for the purple team. Looks like they're gonna, just kind of gonna just let them take whatever they want and just sit back and relax.
That Zach is the pick there. He's gonna go and lock in with the timeout, and that's another really, really fun, really great champion right now as Jarvan. Being locked in there for Team Blue, and the last pick so enigmatic. We don't know what it could be. Udyr is now actually finally being hovered over, but we'll see here. As it wouldn't be a terribly bad move, but
yeah, we'll have to see what they're doing here. I mean, with that Udyr, Udyr these days, you can play him in the top lane, you can play him in the jungle. So between the Udyr and the J4, they could go pretty much, wherever they so please. Looks like he's gonna, keep shuffling around a little bit there.
Yeah, and until he locks in there, just as soon talk about this Nunu, which appears to be a support Nunu at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at this team comp, it looks like we are going to see that Nunu support. That Blood Boil Vein is so absolutely deadly. So purple team going to have to make sure that they really get a very strong hold in this early game and make sure that they finish this quick because obviously Vayne, one of the most powerful carries in the game, if not the most powerful, especially in the late game. If she doesn't get shut down, she's going to be able to just almost regardless of how she does in the early game, she's going to be able to just go in here and just destroy purple team in a matter of seconds with that true damage of hers. So we're going to have to see how purple team is going to decide to handle her. They have the Blitzcrank, they have the silence off of that. Zach, he's got his displacement off of his Let's Bounce. Shen, he's got his taunt. And now they have Ari for the charm. So they have a lot of CC going on right now, as well as, they have the slow off Twitch. So they have a lot of CC right now. They just need to make sure that they're really directing it at, well, actually not only just Vayne, but also Jax. They have, two very powerful carries on the blue team. So they need to make sure that they're really, picking out their targets and landing the skill shots they need to land here in these team fights. Because if they're not, if they're grabbing the wrong person, it's going to really spell disaster for purple team. Because, nothing is worse than accidentally grabbing a Nunu and having him absolute zero on top of your team.
Yeah, well, and that's gonna be a hard thing is they do have a lot of tanky, threats here on the side of Team Blue, and that's one way to, if you're gonna counter a Blitzcrank, Blitzcrank's like, here, why don't you come into my team? And it's really difficult to do that when you really only got one target you want to do that to in Vayne, and every other champion here for Team Blue in a team fight situation is going to want to get in there anyway, and so Jarvan, Jax, and even Diana there, and then of course that Nunu, they're all going to be wanting to get into those team fights, and so they've got a nice front line here to try to protect Vayne. And we'll just see, we'll see if the CC and this team comp, the really strong team comp coming out of here from Team Purple, can deal with that with all of their crowd control abilities as we're entering into the slight delay before the game. I was going to mention it before we went right into team select, but I mean, you see this Twisted Fate ban. We talked a little bit about it, but the amount of global pressure that brings, and right now, it seems to me like in season 3, pressure. It's been all about pressure, pressuring turrets, pressuring the jungle, the jungler into supporting lanes, but it seems like especially in the LCS. The teams that have been able to apply the most pressure early and get a slight foothold with global objectives have come out on top, and so we'll see here as these teams go underway. But that Twisted Fate definitely a indicator of that, and we have Shen on the purple team, so we'll see if his global pressure is a factor in this game as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he decides to take for summoners. I mean, if he decides to pick up a teleport here, then he's going to have a lot of split push power. I know that that's become very, very standard for the Shen players. Just get that flash teleport so you can ult down to bot, and then you can make sure that you get right back into the top lane, so that you don't miss your farm. Your turret doesn't get pushed. So we'll have to see if he decides to do that. If he does, that adds a whole new layer to their team comp. It allows them to, get those split pushes and acquire objectives all around the map, which is something that Purple's going to need to do. They're going to need to take these objectives very, very quickly and, force an early, late game if they can, get into these team fights before Vayne or Jax or even Diana are able to, really build any damage items. Hopefully, for the sake of the purple team, they'll be able to force, especially Jax, into an early defensive item rather than him being able to rush a Blade of the Ruined King or a Zephyr or something like that. If they can do that, it's really going to swing the game in their favor. If you get a couple damage items on either of their carries right now on blue team, it's not a good look for the other team. They're just such powerful champions. Jax, the duelist, probably just one of my worst nightmares. When you play a good Jax, it just seems like there's almost nothing that you can do.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a very, very scary proposition. I wouldn't be surprised here if the purple team or Team Red gets into the blue jungle here at level 1. They may be looking for an early pick here to try to get as early of a lead as possible and try to turn that into an advantage here early. Obviously, with that Blitzcrank there as well, and I mean, you've got Ari, Shen, and Blitzcrank all with good CC here. And then never underestimate that Twitch early damage there. But we'll see here. Usually at level 2 is a little bit more potent for him, but wouldn't surprise it as I think we're going to be going into the loading screen here. And spoiler alert, Shen does not have teleport, so it looks like they may not be looking for to really take advantage of that split push, but it will still be an option there as long as his ultimate is up. So we'll see here as well.
That's true. We'll have to see what they decide to do. But if we're taking a look at Jax's summoners, actually, he's got that Ghost Ignite. So, and looking at the blue team, they have such an immense amount of chase right now. I mean, J4, he's got his EQ, so he can close gaps very, very easily. We have Diana, she has her ultimate. Vayne, you know, obviously she runs towards enemies, you know, she gains speed as she's running towards an enemy. Jax, he's got that Ghost, he's got his leap, and then they have a Blood Boil to top it all off with that that speed increase. So the blue team right now, they have such immense chase potential. And not to mention, like, such hard engages. So it's going to be very, very difficult for the red team here to actually try to disengage if they get caught out. You know, or if they get into a fight that they don't want to be in. I mean, Zach can jump out. Twitch can try invis. He's got that delay before he goes completely invisible. But that's always easily countered by either an Oracles or a Pink Ward. Blitzcrank, he's just got his W for his speed up. And then Shen, he would either have to try to, you know, ult out onto somebody who wasn't near the fight, or he would have to do, you know, like a dash over a wall with his taunt, and then Ari has her ultimate. So they have to be very careful. But, you know, at the same time, if they use these spells to try to get out, especially for Ari, it's, you know, that is just going to hurt them, because then there's an ultimate that your AP carry doesn't have for the next team fight. So red team going to have to play very, very carefully in this to make sure that they're not getting grabbed out, especially in the jungle. So they're going to need a lot of wards in this bot lane, and I'm hoping that Blitzcrank, he gets an early side stun, because that's definitely something that he's going to need in this match right here.
Yes, no joke on that side of things as we are entering into the level 1. Once again, if you are just joining us, this is Gilfrost and Achilleos, and we're here for the TowerDiveTV 41st weekly tournament. And right now we're watching, actually, I think it's Camp Ayyon and Tentacles for Leon. I don't really have that confirmed, but I believe that is the two teams that we're watching here on Team Blue and Team Red, respectively. And yeah, let's go into here, take a look at these opening items. Nothing too surprising that I can see so far.
Yeah, I mean, we have Ari, she's picking up that flask, so she has that, you know, that extra sustain in lane, also picking up, you know, opting for that red pot. Twitch, once again, you know, we're just seeing the 80 carries come out with the Doran's Blade, very, very standard. It looks like everything, yeah, like you said, is just going to be pretty set. I mean, Shen with that Doran shield, he is just super, he is just super sustained in that top lane with that Doran shield, and then with his Vorpal blades, you know, he's going to be able to just sit in lane, farm some minions, and essentially never get low. I mean, his Vorpal blade is actually a very, very powerful ability. Oh, actually, that miss ward
fail ward, yeah. So they're both gonna have a vision of this red buff, but yeah, unfortunately, red not gonna spot out this green old ward there, and we'll see what happens as they actually return to their jungle. We almost had some level 1 action. I was waiting for it to happen, but no, it looks like both teams are gonna just get a fairly standard start here. As yeah, they're just gonna return to their own jungle. But yeah,
probably for the best. I mean, the invades are always such a risk. I mean, obviously, I mean, you could turn the tide of a match, and we've seen it happen. You could turn the tide of a match from a jungle invade if it goes awry. I mean, you pick up an early first blood as an 80 carry, that's huge. You know, you go back, that's your boots, or that's a, you know, that's an extra long sword or something towards your, you know, your vampiric if you're rushing like a Blade of the Ruin. So probably just smart of them to go ahead and just get a very standard start. Looks like, you know, Jack's just gonna try to farm away here in the top lane, taking a little bit of damage from that Shen, but looks like they're just gonna be pretty standard, poking at each other a little bit now.
Yeah, but Shu actually taking quite a bit of damage from those minions. Never underestimate that taunt there to cause those minions to attack, as they're going to both be trading damage here fairly equally right now in the top lane, and just continuing to farm and try to sustain. But yeah, it's going to be, I mean, really in this mid lane as well, there's a very good chance it's going to be a fairly slow start here until level 6. We may see some action here at level 6 when both of these champions are going to be getting their dash ultimates. But yeah, it looks like Shupov actually sensing out this Zac gank here, possibly. I don't think he doesn't have any ward coverage. I don't think he could have spotted out, but just smelling that out is going to go ahead and actually back very early and pick up sight ward as well as some potions there. Turn to lane a little bit safer. Try to ramp up as so far not very much action here. As actually looks like we do have a possible gank here in the top lane. Shorter Ace gonna try to get in there, but right now not in good enough position. And they will be spotted out if they do have this ward coverage. As he does jump actually in, forces that flash out of Blazin. I am a Siren taking a bit of damage there, but it's not going to be enough as, yeah, using that ward coverage there and positioning. Shorter Ace, an unsuccessful gank here in the bot lane.
Well, we have a huge fight going on in the mid lane. Actually, Ahri and Diana both trading flashes and ignites. Looks like neither is going to walk away with a kill right now. Ahri obviously in, kind of ahead here because she's got such, raw sustain off of her passive. So it looks like we're not going to see anything there, but that was an exciting little engagement we had for a second.
Very low. As yeah, now Zac actually coming in there, Coded getting off a nice slow, and missing that CC there. TSE not going to be able to get that. As Jarvan now joining the battle, Coded actually tries to get in there to do the last bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough. As once again 0-0, both of these teams trading back and forth, but not quite enough for a kill. As Coded gets in there and tries to get a little fresh there with Jarvan. But once again, nothing much happening.
Yeah, unfortunately, Code burning that flash. Oh, but it looks like Jarvan's
yeah, it looks like TSE brought pretty low, but they did get off a nice chain of CC as Shorter Ace now trying to get back. Is going to try to get back onto TSE, doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough as Ahri picking up that kill. First blood goes to Ahri in the mid lane. A very, very low Ahri, I might add, and she's going to return to base a little bit richer.
Yeah, walking away with about 14 HP after that engage. Very, very well played by Ahri. Her W couldn't have come up any more at the right time. So that was very, very well played there. Look at this top lane. Jax is still having an immense amount of trouble against his Shen. Like it looks like he opted for the Dorans to try to get that sustain, but he just wasn't expecting the sheer amount of poke that Shen is able to put out. Not that, like I said, he's got that really ridiculous amount of sustain off his Vorpal blades. So he's just out sustaining and currently out farming this Jax right now. And Jax already going to have to back a second time at level 4 right here. Only able to pick up a longsword and 2 pots, it seems. So this is not looking very good for Jax, and this is exactly what the red team needs. Like I said, they need to make sure that Jax, they need to make sure that Vayne aren't able to get these ridiculous damage items they need to really snowball. So far, very good job by the red team on that part right there.
Yeah, no, right now they are up in farm pretty much across the board and just slowly but steadily gaining footholds here. And obviously they do have that first blood as well. But yeah, we'll see here as actually Shupov now returning to lane, going to get off a little bit of damage there on a Shupov, but that nice taunt there, and the minions are going to get off quite a bit of damage. And Shupov being brought very low once again, does have that healing potion that he can pop, but he's just not feeling safe in his own lane up there. And yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see Red really starting to push these lanes. All except for the bottom lane is, Blitzcrank misses a hook there in the bot lane. Narrowly escaping that. Apala gets out of there. It's actually Blazin taking quite a bit of damage. That Silverbolt proc does quite a little bit of damage anyway. Trying to trade back there, but not much. It actually looks like Ahri looking to get into the spot lane is level 6. They do have a position advantage. They do know that this is coming here, so they are going to try to escape under the turret here. Blitzcrank uses that pull, so he's not going to actually have it if they can't really siege their turret with it. Is actually TSE popping that ultimate. Diana is in the area as well, but right now this would be a 4-on-3, and that's not the situation that you want, especially with a fairly low AD carry and support there. But it looks like nothing is going to happen once again here in the bot lane.
Yeah, Twitch just taking a little bit too much damage right there. He's going to have to back, but now he's backing. He is, a mere 5 CS over Vayne, but he's going to be able to, get caught up in items right now. As we can see, he picked up a Vampiric, he picked up a Longsword and boots. So now he's going to be coming back into lane with more items than Vayne has, so he's going to be able to out-trade her here. So that's very, very, good for him. We did see Shen get taken down in the top lane while that engage happened. Now Shen porting into the mid lane.
Yeah, actually, Shen picked up a kill in that top lane against Jax, and he's going to pick up a second one here in the mid lane. A huge ultimate there. Counter gank from Shen there as he was level 6, picking up that kill and leaving his mid laner very safe there as Diana goes down.
Yeah, and I had misspoken. Jax going down, Shen picking up the kill on the top lane. My mistake right there.
No problem. Yeah, no, and either way, we didn't see it because action happening all over the map.
Yeah, this is so far. There hasn't really been a lull in the action so far. Every lane they're pushing very hard. Well, they're either pushing hard or they're getting pushed very hard. Obviously that top lane not going well for Jax. Already backing again. He's at 38 CS to Shen's 56. Shen already, 2 kills. He's got that giant spell, and now he's picking up that null mantle. Looks like he's going to be able to rush some Merc Treads here, and just, if that's what he's going for, and if he decides to rush Merc Treads, that Jack stun is just going to become even less effective. So Shen's going to be able to just get in there. If Jax tries to disengage with the stun, he'll be able, you know what? That only lasts like half a second now, and then he's just going to keep going and plowing into Jax's, under Jax's turret.
Yeah,
he's got such an advantage right now.
Yeah, no, and Vampiric Scepter coming out of here from Jax, even though he's losing his lane, still trying to go for those damage items, trying to get that Blade of the Rune King quickly. And yeah, we do have an interaction here in the middle lane. Ayyon taking a lot of damage. TSE pops his ultimate. Gonna try to get in there for the last bit of damage. Not gonna be enough as Ayyon does escape under the safety of her own turret there, but she's gonna have to back, and that means TSE is gonna be able to put a little more pressure onto this mid turret, who's taking about 15% damage right now. Now she is gonna actually stay as Zac now in the area. J4 is in the area as well, so they may be able to do something. It's actually both junglers getting in at the same time. TSE taking a lot of damage, but actually is gonna pick up that kill onto Diana, and Shorter Ace unable to do much about that with her his mid laner gone. He's going to just continue taking damage there and trying to save this mid turret, but another kill going in favor of Team Red. Oh, it was a huge pull in the bot lane there. I'm a Siren picking up the kill. Blitzcrank OP. The Twitch actually getting the assist on that as Apollo tries to get in there, going to try to do some trade 1 kill for 1, but Twitch with that stealth going to get out of there alive with just a sliver of health there in the bottom lane. And once again, action happening all over the map.
Incredible timing on that stealth for the Twitch right there. I mean, just a fraction of a second less, or a fraction of a second more, and he wouldn't have gotten into that stealth right there. And Vayne, I mean, obviously he was gonna die regardless, but she had that third shot coming in for her W. It would have just ripped in the shreds, and that would have been a huge kill for Vayne. So really, really got on him, managing to get out there. That blitz hook though. Wow, I didn't think he had. It looked like he was going to grab a minion right there, but he managed to pull that Nunu out of line from the minions. That was a really fantastic grab by Blitzcrank, using Twitch as a vision ward there, so you could see underneath the turret. So that was a fantastic grab by Blitz. Really good job of shutting down the enemy support.
Yeah, no, great plays coming out there in the bot lane. And right now, if you are just joining us, it's TowerDiveTV 41st weekly tournament. I'm Gil Frost, and this is Achilleos, and we're bringing you the game between, and once again, unconfirmed, Camp Ayyon and Tentacles for Leon. And right now, Tentacles for Leon doing a great job, 5-0. Currently, almost 4K up here in gold, and no global objectives here. As actually Shupov does get jumped on in the bottom lane. Chow pops that Ignite and is going to be fine. Ignites were traded there, but Chow is very, very safe there. A ton of health in that top lane, and Shen's sitting on 3 kills right now against this, 2 of them anyway, against this Jax.
Yeah, Shen, I mean, and we'll see what he decides to buy right here. Going to go ahead and just complete that Sunfire cape, so Jack's just going to become even more ineffective in this top lane. Shen is just so huge right now. It looks like we have a scuffle between Zac and Jarvan, but it looks like we're just going to have a disengage there. So just a little bit of harass coming out from either side, but looks like no real consequence for either team. Ahri doing a really good job of pushing in this mid lane right now. She's just...
It's actually we have a 3-man gank here in the top lane. Shen joins that battle to actually steal that kill away from it. The AD carry there actually picks up 2 kills in the top lane against bottom lane against both these bottom laners, and it was all initiated by a nice pull by Blitzcrank, and they're going to use that. They're going to get a little bit of damage on this turret, but they are going to try to get this dragon. There is ward coverage here coming out from Team Blue, but they don't have anybody, or at least not enough in the area to deal with this, and Jarvan may be able to get in there for a steal, but now that jungler is there, it is going to be a smite off, and I don't know if it's going to be worth it here for Jarvan. But it looks like he's going to go in, and they do not get it. Nice smite there. Does use that flash, but Blitzcrank with a huge hook is going to get in there. Shorter Wraith pops that ultimate, but it is in vain as Twitch picks up the kill, and that is his first kill, and a dragon there for Team Red. Overall, a 3-for-1 exchange here in this bot lane. A delayed 3-for-0, and a dragon as a pause does come out there. But huge plays coming out of Blitzcrank here, and we're seeing now why it is so consistently banned.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you know, I'm a Siren right now on this Blitzcrank. He is just playing phenomenally. I haven't seen, you know, he hasn't really missed any like huge hooks. He's only missed a few, but the ones, I mean, he's making the plays, he's setting them up, he's getting the grabs that he needs to get. So he's doing a really fantastic job right now. With this Blitzcrank, he is just bringing out its full potential. I mean, that grab right there out of the Baron pit, just completely negating Jarvan's flash, was enormous for them. And so not to mention that they get Jarvan's flash, but they also got his Cataclysm right now, and they picked up the dragon. Jax was trying to split push that top while while all the red team was kind of situated by the dragon. But you know, I can't see the turret health right now, but obviously he didn't manage to pick it up. So just overall, just really well played by red team. I mean, Jax, that objective is something that he really needed to push, and he was not able to do it in time. So that would have been the type of comeback that blue team needs in this circumstance. They need to get that objective gold, but they're just not able to make it happen because Jax is just getting so shut out in that top lane.
Yeah, and I mean, he right now is almost half. He's got almost 3,000 gold overall to Shen, who's got over 5,000 gold in this top lane. And yeah, those 5 kills on Shen. He's going to be very scary. Although, you know, definitely not where you want to be feeding necessarily, because Shen, no matter what, I mean, even if he goes 0 and 5 versus 5 and 0, he's going to be a very consistent champion. Whereas Twitch, you know, the Twitch, Ahri, these are the champions that you really want to get your kills to. However, they do each have one kills. Ahri does have 3 in the mid lane, so they're not in the dire straits here by any means. But Shen definitely very scary in the top lane. As the TSC and Shupuff actually here do see each other as Shupuff dodges a few flaming balls of magic, and he's going to escape there back to his own lane.
Yeah, and like I was talking about that top turret, looks like they managed to take it just below half health. So Jax, I mean, he doesn't have that pushing power. You know, he's only got, right now, he's sitting on a Blade of the Ruined King. Or, I'm sorry, a Bilgewater Cutlass, trying to get that Blade of the Ruined King. Doesn't even have his boots yet. So, you know, he's just not where he needs to be as far as his builds. But more importantly, I think that what we're going to be seeing here as we get later into the game is this Ahri coming back to really dominate. So, I mean, Shen, like you said, he's sitting with those 5 kills, but Ahri, if we take a look at her farm, she's sitting at 120 to Diana's 59. So she's doing a fantastic job of clearing these lanes out and making sure that Diana just isn't getting any CS. As we see Diana having to opt back to go to Wolves right here to try to pick up some extra CS. But Ahri's just, she's doing a very, very excellent job of controlling her lane. And we can see she's got about 2 levels on Diana right now, and now bringing it to a 3-level advantage. So this is spelling disaster for blue team. So I mean,
yeah.
What do you think that blue team can try to do to try to bring this back, or is it even possible at this point?
I mean, yeah, right now they are in very, very tough times. The Shupuff now being jumped on by Chow and just taking a ton of damage, and Chow does not even worry about this turret. Is going to go ahead and pick up that kill in the top lane onto Jax. That's number 6 there for Shen. But right now, I mean, you've got to catch somebody out, and I think that you know, focusing on Vayne at this point, who is currently getting a good amount of farm, does have that Blade of the Ruined King already. But you need to start trying to get picks for her specifically. Is actually TSE being jumped on here. Shorter Ace taking a lot of damage though, and TSE pops one of her ultimate. One Spirit Rush, and is going to be safe after that. Another unsuccessful gank, but yeah, Vayne is your key right now, and we'll see if they can do anything with that. It's actually coded in. TSE jump onto Ayyon here. Code is not going to get that knockup, but is going to get that slow. TSE is there as well. Oh, a nice flash there from Diana, and is going to escape there under her own turret. Jarvan is there as well now to try to protect this mid turret, but it's not going to be enough. As actually, we may have some action here in the bot lane. Siren tries to get off a pull, but not going to be enough as Awkward Death does escape that. But right now, all lanes are pushing very hard for Team Red.
Yeah, I mean, the picking up that top turret, Shen is just further propelling himself forward in this match. I mean, his Vorpal Blades are just chunking down Jax right now. You know, Jax not able to build any defensive whatsoever. I mean, he's got 2 null mana, but
it's a huge pull, sorry, in the bot lane. Awkward Death gets pulled over once again, and Shen is now joining the battle onto Blazin. Awkward Death going to go down. Shen actually picking up that kill again. TSE is in the area as well. Coda jumps in, and it's going to be a 5-man gank here in the bot lane. Shorter Race going to go down as well. Twitch picking up that kill, and they're going to get a turret for that as well. Vayne and Ayyon, they're on Diana, are in the area, but they're not going to be enough as Jax finally gets a little bit of breathing room in the top lane, but at the cost of at least 1 turret, and it looks like they're looking for another here.
Yeah, wow, and don't ever apologize for jumping in on a hook that good. I am a Siren, just showing that he is a master of grabs. I mean, his blitzcrank pulls have been insane. I mean, that was absolute like max range grab right there. One more pixel, and I think that that one wasn't gonna land. So fantastic job picking that up, and then that allowed them to just get in there, take not only the tier 1 but the tier 2 turret in the bot lane. Jax looks like he's gonna get up here. He's gonna let the minions finish pushing this tier 1 in top, but I mean, just not a good trade. I mean, blue team still not even picking up a kill in this match yet. We really need to see this Vayne pick up some kills here, or at least really out farm Twitch. I mean, right now they're dead even at 137 CS. So she really needs to start pulling the extra weight on her team right now, because she's really the only one that can help them come back from this.
Yeah, and Jax was able to catch up a little bit in farm there, but yeah, it's a long road for him still, as now Chow jumping on there, and actually Jax pops that ghost, is going to escape. But yeah, it's a summoner down, and really Shen didn't have to use anything for that. His ultimate is down from that last interaction though, so yeah, he's just going to push his lane for now. And in the bot lane, I am Siren getting a little bit of damage here from Awkward Death, but right now they are going to look to jump onto Awkward Death and Apollo, who don't really have a turret to run to, and the slow comes down from Blazin. Ari's in the area as well. Blade of the Room King goes off as well. Awkward Death going to go and sacrifice himself for his AD carry. Vayne returning to safety, and 2 other members of his team there, and Diana and Jarvan. And I don't actually have the dragon timer, but it should be coming up here soon, and they may be planning to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they have the way that the red team has been playing right now. I'm sure that they have this dragon timer on lockdown. Looks like they're going to go ahead, make sure that Ari gets this blue. I mean, Ari with any kind of CDR is fantastic. Now Twitch kind of stealthing around bot lane. Looks like they might try to come in here and pick up this Diana.
Yeah, no, he took a lot of damage there in the bot lane. Vayne there used that Blade of the Rune King onto Twitch, but he did escape safely. But yeah, right now, I mean, Vayne will trade fairly well even against this 3-0 Twitch until Twitch can get back. Actually, he doesn't have any too much money in his pocket right now. But yeah, there's that dragon coming back up, and they're expecting the Jarvan. There they do get a numbers advantage here. Blitzcrank actually popped his...
Pops this grab on dragon.
Onto the dragon. Any damage you can get is what you need. TSA actually jumping across the wall. Gonna use the rest of his ultimate as well. I'm a Siren now jumping across with that flash, and they're gonna pick up a couple kills from that. Ayyon now being brought very low, does dodge that CC from TSE, but it's not going to be enough as they do pick up a double kill onto Ari, and overall 3 for 0 and that dragon. And so once again, 17-0. They are up 34 to 22.2k gold, 4 turrets to 1. And there's not much you can do right now if you're Team Blue. It is definitely snowballing out of control, a little bit similar to that last game. Both of these games have ended up being quite one-sided after 20 minutes, as that's where we are right now.
Yeah, wow. Shen actually having to back for the first, getting harassed out of a lane for the first time in this game. But it took both Jax and Vayne, the two biggest carries of the blue team, to even push him out. And even then, he wasn't in that much of danger. As we can see, Vayne running into the top lane here. They might be trying to make a play. And there's Jackson with a stun.
Yep, gonna try to get that taunt out, but Apollo pops that ultimate. Is gonna get off a nice condemn there onto the wall. But the flash from Chow is going to keep him alive for now. And Vayne, out of range, cannot get that move speed increase. He's going to have to just return to lane to farm up. As now, actually, Zach is in the area, as well as Ahri. Ahri does have Spirit Rush available now, so they could get on here as Shupuff is slowed in the top lane. Coded trying to get in there. Oh, a nice dodge there from Shupuff to get away from that CC from TSE, but it's not going to be enough. Shen jumps in there, going to get the assist as Ahri picks up the kill onto Jax. And yeah, they're going to keep pushing this top lane now as well.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep pushing this blue buff onto the Ahri, she's essentially going to have Spirit Rush up just about every time that they need to engage. I mean, right now with blue, it's sitting at a 73-second cooldown. So, I mean, you're looking at just over a minute for that. So, I mean, every time she needs to go in, she needs to, have that gap close. She's essentially going to have it. Blitz missing almost what would have been a very fantastic grab right there on the Vayne. But they are going to be able to push her into their jungle so just so she can recall while Twitch burns down this mid-tier 2 turret. It looks like Diana's just not going to be able to defend. She's got to pick between this turret and also their tier 3 that's happening right now that's going down the top lane.
Yeah, this is actually Shupuff now being jumped on, taking a lot of damage from these 3 members, now soon to be 4 members of Team Red, but they're going to go ahead and back off. Just going to play methodically here as they don't want to lose any members as Blitzcrank looking for the pull there across the wall. But yeah, they lost another turret, 6-1 in turrets right now, 19-0 in kills, and right now Red in a firm lead here of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are well beyond the point of no return.
Blitz a huge pull there on the Shupuff. I'm a Siren getting another gank off there as Shupuff jumps out. Is going to go to safety, though. Did not see that going. Twitch picks up the kill onto Jarvan, who had leapt into the team to try to mitigate some of that damage onto their carries. But with that, Apollo actually now being jumped on is going to go down. Just raced off that map along with that turret there, and they're going to get their first inhibitor here. And they're just continuing to push down into this blue team space. Yeah, Team Red using this advantage that they have cultivated this entire game to just methodically take down these global objectives.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. I mean, they're synergizing well. Everyone's playing the way that they need to. I'm a Siren with his hooks. I mean, this man is like the Noah of Blitzcranks. He is just parting the seas of minions, and his grabs are just going straight down the line. He's pulling in everybody that he needs to.
Yes, is actually short. Ace tries to get in there. Ayyon there as well. Does get off a nice little pull in there. Taking a lot of damage, though. Does try to pop that shield. He's going to go down. Coded now being brought very low as well. That's the first time we've seen his passive this game. It is going to go out as now Jarvan tries to get in there again, but that's a double kill, triple kill now for Ahri. Picks up that final kill onto Jarvan. Vayne picks up a kill onto Twitch as well. But overall, it's going to be a 1 for 4. Vayne, the only remaining member alive here for Team Blue. It's going to be enough, though, as most of the Team Red members are very low, and that's a 25-1 now. Score here as Apollo jumps in a little prematurely, is going to go down, and that's going to be an ace and a delayed quadra kill for Ahri there as Vayne just made some choices and is going to have to live with them now.
Oh, not really live with them, but yeah, that's unfortunate for Vayne to just kind of run straight into 3 remaining team members of Red right there. I mean, this just not looking good. I don't know. Well, they did. Oh, no, never mind. They did get a kill, so the game is still on.
Yep, and Vayne, that was the first kill, and so she was feeling like, oh, well, I got, getting a little greedy there, and tried to time that the recalls out to pick up one member of Team Red, but they all remained, and yeah, 3v1 for Vayne. Not happy right now, as yeah, she's sitting on a 6.7k gold, which is I mean, almost what Blitzcrank has on that support.
Yeah, that's never a good look if your AD carry is sitting at, less or equal gold as the enemy support. Not very good at all. This Blitzcrank, though, I mean, I guess I can't really be. I guess I can't really blame Vayne with the way that the I'm a Siren has been playing this Blitzcrank. He's just being really immaculate. I mean, I know I keep praising the hell out of this man, but I can't help it. He's just doing a really fantastic job.
No, Ben definitely giving us some footage for the highlight reels as they are going to push onto this bottom turret and once again just methodically eliminate this blue team's base. As Blitz actually misses that hook, using that short ace, does get in there with the ultimate, is going to go ahead and get out of it right afterwards. But Chow Pong is going to be in there playing that front line as Twitch and Ari cleanup kills in the background. Apollo being brought very low is going to go down. Shen actually picking up that kill. And that is going to be 4 for 0 right now. And Team Red looking to push up onto this base and end it right now. First Nexus turret goes down. Second Nexus turret dropping very quickly. Snoop Up going to try to distract them enough. Going to get the hop out. And they're actually going to chase. Shen returning there. Blazin doing his work on the Nexus turret along with those minions. And they're going to go ahead and let it end here. And once again, yeah, that is going to be it. If you just recently joined us, this is Gil Frost and Achilleos. And what a game there for Blitzcrank and Tentacles for Leon as they picked up this kill here in the quarterfinal bracket of this week's TowerDiveTV weekly tournament. And yeah, I mean, not much more to say about that. Blitzcrank making the plays, Shen making the plays. And
one hell of a game. I mean, nice little 26-minute game. It's a little just kind of, mid-range length game, but I mean, just taking a look at the scores here, just fantastic, a fantastic win for the red team right there. I mean, these gold leads are pretty ridiculous. I mean, we're looking at more than twice the gold count for some of the blue team right here. I mean, Diana sitting at a very measly 5.2 compared to Ari's 12.3K gold lead. That is very, very substantial, not to mention her CS. I mean, 229 to 108. So it's just very much in the favor of purple in that last match. So very well played by them and good game, blue team. You gave it your all.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have been watching, we've seen two very quickly snowballed out of control games, but we will have more League of Legends action here shortly. We're going to take a very short break while we get the next game set up. Once again, this is Gil Frost and Achilleos, and there is more League of Legends action to be had. So stick with us. We'll be right back.